From the new fourth tallest skyscraper in New York to a hotel in Dubai that broke a record, these buildings are amazing. Here are the most impressive skyscrapers in 2022, from Frankfurt's crazy skyline change to the world's tallest building that is still being built. We'll begin in Europe. Number 8. Frankfurt 4. Frankfurt has one of the most beautiful skylines in all of Europe. This is why people call it Manhattan, a play on the name of New York City's Manhattan. 4 high-rise towers connected by a shared base are the newest addition to Frankfurt's skyline, which is always getting bigger. The main thing to see at the 4-tower complex is Tower 1, which is 233 meters tall and the third tallest building in the country. Even though the project won't be done till 2024, Tower 1 has already been sold for $1.6 billion, making it the most expensive building ever sold in Germany. Towers 1 and 4 will be used as office space, while Towers 2 and 3 will be used for social housing. This is the same for all major housing projects in Frankfurt, so people with different amounts of money can enjoy the dream of living in the clouds. Number 7. The Legacy Tower. The COVID-19 pandemic changed how people live all over the world, and this is the first skyscraper to take that into account in its design. The Legacy Tower project was already planned in Miami before the pandemic. At first, it was all about people going to Florida for medical care, but that changed when COVID became the norm. The project's designers made changes to make it the world's first skyscraper that is pandemic-ready. So what is pandemic-ready about the Legacy Tower? To keep people from running into each other as much as possible, the elevators and cleaning robots in the tower will be controlled by voice. Even if a visitor gets sick, there will be special places for quarantine and doctors on hand to make sure they can get better safely. In case of medical emergencies, the tower will also have an on-site pharmacy and surgery rooms. The Legacy Tower has been under construction since 2021 and it will be done by 2025. Hopefully, COVID-19 won't be a problem anymore by then, but the Legacy Tower will make sure that real estate can adapt to other health emergencies in the future. Number 6. The One Toronto. Since 1976, Canada's tallest building has been the 298-meter-tall First Canadian Place. 2 buildings are trying to beat that record in 2022. The One Toronto is already being built, and it will cost $1 billion to finish. It was first planned to be 308 meters high, which would have made it taller than the First Canadian Place. The building of the skyscraper began in 2017, and the digging was finished in 2019. But soon after that, work stopped because of problems with the permits. The zoning laws in Toronto let developers build skyscrapers that are taller and denser than what is allowed as long as they give back to the community. The city told the developer to stop building anything above the ground until he built a park for the community. Progress was made on the park that wasn't on site, but work stopped again when Toronto banned any construction work that wasn't essential because of the pandemic. In August 2020, after almost a year of doing nothing, conditional permits were granted and construction above ground began. A few blocks away, another plan for a skyscraper with a height of 312 meters was put forward. Not wanting to be left behind, the people who planned the One asked for it to get taller in 2021, which would make it 338 meters tall. The One is the tallest building being built in Canada right now. Once construction problems are solved, the building will open in 2023. Number 5. The Sail Tower. Did you know that Dubai has both the tallest building in the world and the world's tallest hotel? When it opened in 2018, the Gevora Hotel, which is 356 meters tall, was the tallest hotel in the world. But with a 366-meter-tall sail tower at the Dubai Marina, Dubai will break its own record in 2022. In 2018, building began on the sail tower. The foundations of the skyscraper were made with more than 3,000 tons of steel, which gave the building's curved outside a solid base. The outside of the finished tower will be silver, and the inside will be based on the Japanese idea of wabi-sabi, which means the appreciation of the imperfect. The world's tallest infinity pool will be on the roof of the tower. and a glass observation deck will offer views of some of Dubai's most famous landmarks, like the man-made Palm Jumeirah. More than 40 of the tower's 81 floors are finished, and the building is set to open in 2023. Number 4. Iconic Tower. Egypt is well known for its huge pyramids, its all-powerful pharaohs, and its long history. But the new tallest skyscraper in Africa will make modern Egypt just as well known. Egypt is building a new administrative capital 50 kilometers east of Cairo because the number of people living there is growing and making the old capital too crowded. The 385-meter tall iconic tower will be the main building in this new era. The Cairo Tower was the tallest building in Africa before the tower came along. The tower is more than twice as tall as the Cairo Tower. The iconic tower was built from May 2018 to July 2021. By that time, it had reached its structural peak. The design of the tower was based on ancient Egyptian structures. It holds up the glass outside and the concrete inside, which is now finished. With money from the Egyptian government, a Chinese company will finish building the tower this year. Number 3. JP Morgan Chase World Main Headquarters. In February of 2018, the well-known African investment bank JP Morgan Chase said that its old headquarters would be torn down. The first building, which is 216 meters tall, was finished in 1960. It was one of the first modern skyscrapers. It was designed by a woman in the field that was mostly dominated by men. For more than 50 years, it was the tallest building that a woman had designed. There was an effort to make the building a New York City landmark because of how important it was in history. If the building had been given this label, it would have been safe from being destroyed, but the request was turned down. In 2020, the building was finally torn down. But it wasn't an easy job because it was in the middle of one of the busiest office markets in the world. No explosives could be used, and each floor had to be taken apart piece by piece. Before the building was torn down, the first step was to get rid of anything that could be dangerous. The building was then surrounded by a net to keep the debris in one place. All of the windows and doors were taken out, and then the floors were taken apart with hand tools and demolition robots. The last parts of the building to be taken down were steel beams and columns, which were done by welding torches. The whole building was taken down by June 2021. It is now the tallest building that has been torn down in the world. It is taller than the Singer Building, which was torn down in 1968. The old headquarters will be replaced by a new skyscraper that is 434 meters tall and can hold more than 15,000 workers. The new skyscraper will cost $3 billion to build, which makes it the third most expensive building in the city after One World Trade Center, which cost $4 billion, and One Vanderbilt, which cost $3.2 billion. When it finishes in 2024, the JP Morgan Chase World Headquarters will also be the fourth tallest building in New York. Before we move on, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, press the notification bell, and subscribe to be updated on our latest uploads. Number 2. The Ascent Tower. In terms of height, this building can't be compared to the other concrete and glass buildings that will become major landmarks around the world. So, the interesting Ascent Tower in Milwaukee, United States will get another name. When it's done, it will be 86 meters tall and the tallest skyscraper made out of timber wood. Even though they aren't very tall, wooden buildings can be much more useful than concrete ones. Using a technique called mass timber, layers of wood are pressed together to make columns, beams, and other parts of a building's frame. Buildings made of mass timber can be put up 25% faster than buildings made of concrete. They cost less, and the process of building them leaves a much smaller amount of carbon behind. The Ascent Tower will be done in 2023 and will cost around $100 million. Even though wooden buildings haven't reached the same heights as those made of concrete and glass, that might change soon. A 300-meter tall wooden skyscraper called Project W350 is being planned in Japan. Japan has the most earthquakes of any country in the world, and since wood buildings are better at withstanding earthquakes, this project could be a big win for architecture in Japan. Number 1. Merdeka Tower. Today's video ends with the Merdeka Tower in Malaysia, which is still the tallest building being built. The world's tallest twin towers are also in Malaysia. But by 2022, the Petronas Towers will no longer be the most famous thing in the capital of the country. The roof of the Merdeka Tower was finished in August 2020, but work on a 160-meter spire kept going, and it wasn't finished until November 2021. It stands a huge 678 meters tall, which is more than twice as tall as the Eiffel Tower. There will be more improvements to the project, such as a textile museum that shows off Malaysian arts and crafts, and a mosque that can hold more than 3,000 people. When it's done, the tower will have Southeast Asia's highest observation deck and the first 5-star Park Hyatt hotel. By the end of 2022, work on the last few floors and improvements to the area around it will be done. What do you think about these new tall buildings? Do you want to go to any of these places? Tell us in the comments section below. If you liked and enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For more insightful videos, get notified by clicking the bell button below. From the high-end stories of today, this has been Modern Luxury. As always, we look forward to seeing you again in one of our videos. Thanks for watching.